Now you should be able to hear me and see me, but not hear Tommy. But now you should be able to hear me, see Tommy, and hear Tommy.
Hi, this is Tommy.
Excellent.
Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crying is a Free Action podcast. A podcast about news and politics, stories and such about our home states, North Dakota and Florida. I think we've both got several stories that revolve around North Dakota and Florida today. And around the United States and the rest of the globe. I'm joined today by my good friend Tommy. Tommy, thank you for being here.
Yep, happy to be here.
Excellent. Al, who is usually with us, cannot be with us today because he is dead. Hopefully, he will be here next week, though. let's get right
Takes them
into
like
it.
3 days to rise up. So once you're
Yeah,
dead, yeah, it takes them a couple days.
yeah, it'll be all right. We are the team behind EasyVoteND.com. At the When Donald Trump was elected, I decided that I needed to do everything in my power to fight against what I knew and is absolutely become an authoritarian regime. And so I don't believe in violence. So we are making a website trying to spread awareness. So if you see this and you live in North Dakota, especially, send it to somebody. If you're living in a red state, we got a long way to go. It's real tough out there. So if you go to easyvotend.com, we have some articles and things that we've read. You can find the podcast there. We've got some other resources and media and things you can check out. And I'm adding stuff to that here and there. And I got a couple articles in the working. And also, we take writing and ideas from people. So if you want to go on there and hit the little help button, we will take feedback, article ideas, articles you've written. We'll check them over, see if they don't suck, and maybe publish them. That'd be cool. Tommy, what do you know this week?
I know that we have a lot of crazy national news is going on. A lot
Mm.
of immigration news. Um, but I don't want to just spend all day talking about immigration because if that's me, that's going to be my own little podcast. So,
Yeah,
it's uh,
that is a whole situation. We could probably talk about it for 2 hours.
I guess an update on my last week. I did go do a typo Commander Magic tournament, which is pretty good. I got ninth place out of nine competitors. So
Solid
don't
performance, my
bring.
friend.
Yep, yep. Bringing nine mana horrors to a bunch of little humans, Jeskai humans. So
See, when you said one of them was like constructs and something else, I was like, well, there's no way he took last place. Horrors at least function. That was my assumption.
yep.
I guess I'll need to build a horror deck in Penance now.
No,
Let's start with a little North Dakota news. Um, I have been reading the North Dakota Monitor, and if you live in North Dakota, I highly recommend them. They're a non-biased news source. They're very good at just reporting facts. The opinion side of it is a little liberal, obviously, but it's pretty easy to avoid them. I just read the articles. Finding out that the big beautiful bill is cutting a bunch of programs and money and funding and all of that to all sorts of programs across the board that we see mostly red states take advantage of. And in one case, I saw this one, and that is a picture of the Bismarck Senior Center. And so what's happening here is the program where senior volunteers are going out into the community helping other seniors, some more able-bodied seniors than less able-bodied seniors, helping them get meals, run errands and things of that nature. They get a stipend of like $4 an hour, and it's only a couple hours a day. And a lot of these seniors rely on this income. Like, it's not like it's straight up said in the article, and I know this is a fact, is that it's not their little spending money. Like, shit's expensive, and seniors on Social Security and retirement that ran out, 8 or 9 years ago is not enough money. And so now we're going to see a drop in services at this senior center, which my mother was a nurse at for about 15 years, and I volunteered at on and off the whole time. And it just sucks to see that the one thing, because especially in North Dakota, we have a very large aged population compared to the rest of the population. So services like this are important. Because even if the young people wanted to, we don't have enough of them to care for all of our elderly here. So this is just another one of the things of this big beautiful bill, and all these rich people just saying, fuck all you poors, fuck all the old people. We don't care what happens to you.
Yep, it's the same old people that they rely on to get their votes, and all that,
Yep.
because it's a big voting block, and
Hmm.
they're just giving you a big old middle finger, because like my father definitely has Social Security,
Hmm.
and he basically gets about 300 something dollars a month.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
It's not.
after
It's
should
not a lot
be,
of money.
yeah. So every little dollar counts,
Yeah.
and see, they don't make this is not a population that makes any money at all for the most part. They're just trying to survive
Yeah.
out here. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. I totally feel that. Uh, it's rough out there for most people. Um, so oddly enough, the night I read that article, the next morning I had lunch with my grandmother, mother, and sister, and my grandmother had literally used the senior center that morning. So uh, that sucks. That people I know and like they always say you don't know until it directly affects you, and I think people are definitely going to start finding out now. So, I saw that Tommy included millions in federal money frozen for after school programs in North Dakota. I did do some looking into this, and the Trump administration did finally unfreeze some of the money. So, I don't know if this is going to be a Trump always chickens out thing again, but we'll see. What do you
Yeah,
think?
so part of this, I think there's another article where this is definitely an issue that affects a lot of parents, and so that like a bunch of when I say a bunch, it's probably like at least like 10 like senators, Republican senators came together to try to I wrote down they wrote a strongly worded letter to the administration to say, hey, you gotta try to release these funds,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Uh, so which is I guess you could say is a bit unusual. So in fact, one of the people that wrote it is our own North Dakota Senator, I think John Hoeven.
Yes,
So
indeed.
yep. So this
And
is definitely the lawmakers actually I would say doing kind of like their job,
yeah,
right?
and I read through this, and he had talked about how he did a pretty good job acknowledging. He's like, well, yeah, you put a reality TV star in charge. What do you expect's gonna happen? And he's kind of right. Um, I've had the opportunity to meet Governor Hoeven a couple of times when I worked for the state, and he's always struck me as a uh, pretty normal dude, which I guess I kind of like in my politician. He just seemed like I don't want to say he was like soft spoken, but he definitely felt like he took a diplomatic approach to things, and I liked that about him. Sometimes you don't want to make too many people mad or anything like that. You lose the thread, but he never seemed like the type who wanted to be part of an authoritarian government. If I'm being honest.
Yeah. So like, so I guess tell me a little bit about John Hoeven. Like, how long has he been like
Oh,
in the government
jeez.
there?
It's been he's been in the North Dakota politics for so long. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be at least 20 years. Um, he was our governor for a long time. I don't know. I don't remember. I think he was in Congress before that. I think Congress, governor, senator. I think. I didn't look up his Wikipedia page. I probably should have. I served under him while he was governor, and then he got elected senator, and then it was Jack Dalrymple,
Hmm.
who was his lieutenant governor. He was less good, and then it was Doug Burgum, and he was way less good. Now it's Kelly Armstrong, and he seems better. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So in this case, I think the article you put up, this is from I guess a North Dakota reporter and journalist Rob Port of the Plain Talk
Yes.
podcast.
Yes.
Um, yep. So he kind of lays out that that John Hoeven, he has been around for a while, and he is somebody who is probably knows his way around doing what's right for politics. In this case for your state for the most part. Uh, but I I don't know enough about North Dakotan politics to understand. But what I did do was I did looked up, what has John Hoeven done while he is during this term, right?
Sure.
So even though he is trying to step away and trying to push himself away from, I guess, some of these uh, unpopular things like the big beautiful bill,
Right.
we do actually have him. Back in July, he did go up there with the other senators, kind of saying, "Oh, how great the big beautiful bill is going to be for North Dakota."
Sure did.
Right? Yeah. So this is of course before some of the backlash maybe of the big beautiful bill.
Right.
uh,
When and admittedly, a bunch of politicians said they didn't read the whole fucking thing. It was 1,000 pages or whatever, and he was probably no exception. He probably didn't
yeah, and
read the thing.
yep. So then I was looking at the other things that he was doing. Right? What is his voting record? Right? So then I looked up the different recent bills that came up. They voted for the Senate. And to me, this guy is just voting straight down party lines. Big, beautiful bill.
Yep.
He voted, yeah. Resurgence bill, yeah. The regulation of crypto bills, yeah.
Yep.
So this is a bit of an interesting one where, this is a politician who is, they're saying and doing things like writing these letters and these kind of actions, but they're still supporting the main party line in a way.
Right.
So this is
It's
it's interesting
performative.
calculus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Jon Stewart had a good bit about this right after the big beautiful bill did pass, talking about how it was all professional wrestling, like it's all rehearsed, everything like that, and it's true. It's all just performative. They're going to tell you one thing and continue to do another. That's why I don't even talk about Julie Fedorchak as much anymore, because she is literally. If you told me she was an AI program who just like ran on Trump speak, I'd be like, oh yeah, that tracks. So
Yeah.
I think Hoven's better than that, and I think he's coming to regret his choices. I don't think Julie Fedorchak is capable of that. That's my personal opinion.
I mean, yeah, the guy's been around for a while. He kind of knows these things, and in a way, I can understand that sometimes you have to keep towing the party line because
you want to keep your job, you want to keep your livelihood, and like even Republicans have talked about like, oh, we're scared. Like, yeah, no shit, because they're gonna get primaried.
Yeah.
But like this is what happens when you have career politicians entrenched in a system that wasn't meant to function in the way it's functioning to begin with. So
Yep.
yeah.
But well said anyways, like I said, Rob Port, he has much more hope that this is a wave of change.
Oh, okay. So, I'm glad you wanted to talk about this because I was like, oh no, this guy's just like, oh no, everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, no, dude. It's not just going to be fine. Like, you have to get off your ass and do something. That's why we're here. That's why I'm going to protests.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think it is. The public sentiment is important, right?
Yep.
But we still got to do something because you can just be mad, but if the government still is doing nasty things, then what's the point?
Already he's like, oh, the pendulum's gonna swing back the other way. No, dude, the outlook is already bad for midterms because the voters who didn't vote for Kamala on the left were like, no, we want more progressive candidates, and the Democrats keep telling them to shut the fuck up.
Yep, and it's. We're trying to rely on the Democrats to do something, but a lot of times they just do a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what happens if we like to call them like controlled opposition sometimes?
Yes. Yes.
It's
and
tough.
and as soon as I saw that, it's like, oh, it's just gonna go back the other way. I'm like, so you're telling me then 4 years or 8 years or whatever after this, we have to go back the other way, back to this authoritarian regime where fucking immigrants are not safe again? It's no. We're here because the fucking Confederacy wasn't punished enough.
Yep. This is 200 years. We're still on this.
Yes.
And, it's true.
We need to treat this shit like they treated Nazis after World War II. You can't display the symbols anymore. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about your freedom of speech. Like this,
this is okay.
That's not freedom of speech anymore because hate speech has never been covered by the First Amendment.
Yeah, and it's just like hate speech. Freedom of speech just is what can the government do to retaliate against you?
Correct.
Really. So, there's not freedom of consequence, like there's nothing in the rules that says I can't beat up another man
Yeah,
for saying things I don't like.
yeah.
So
Like, get
there's
into
nothing in
the
the rules for dog
fucking
camping and
real
basketball.
world here, people.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I totally agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like this guy is on our side, like for sure. The writer, I
Yeah.
should say. But like that is one of the most like milk toast I'm a blue dude in a red state takes I've ever heard.
It's a bit too. I said it's a little bit more optimistic than my taste
Yeah.
would allow. So,
I
and
and
I'm
and
not. I don't see the evidence for
and
this.
like
So,
and I am an optimistic pacifist. And I think this is a
yeah.
shit take. I'm like, no, man, it's gonna get way worse. This guy's like, we already need to be preparing for his third term run. Like, that's gonna happen unless he dies.
Yep. Maybe. Probably.
I think
And then,
I think he's gonna die in office. That's my prediction.
well, funny that you said this, right? So, I don't know
Yeah,
if you have the article already queued up.
I
Um,
definitely can.
okay,
Yes, right
so
there.
our dear beloved President Donald Trump, besides suffering from what looks like probably dementia and just his mind is melting, he
Yes.
also has he has big old cankles now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yep. So he definitely has a very common condition, chronic venous insufficiency. So this is like where the blood pumps down to the leg, but it can't come back up to the heart in a timely manner, right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
so yep. So besides him he loves wearing his high heels too, which is also probably not helping it. Yep,
Correct.
there we go. There's the man, his massive ankles.
Yep.
Um,
That's if okay. Public service announcement time. If you see somebody with ankles like that in your life and they have not addressed it, you make sure they go to a fucking doctor. I know healthcare in the United States is fucked, but well, I was gonna say, would you rather be in debt or be dead? And now I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. Do whatever you need. It's cool. I get it.
yeah, but yeah, definitely. So the man is not it is not that in good health. It doesn't matter what his doctor says, but also the man is super old. He's almost like 80, I think. Is he over 80?
I
Is he 81?
think he's
I don't,
81.
yeah.
Hang on.
So and the man just said he eats McDonald's for breakfast. But that doesn't stop
Also, like,
people like
do you
Warren
know what
Buffett.
his McDonald's order is? And it's the same, like, every time. It's like 2 Big Macs, 2 fucking fish fillets, like
Kind
2
of
large
his
French
order.
fries. I'm serious.
Um,
Like, every time. RFK has talked about it a bunch of times. He's like, oh, all the stuff he eats is just garbage. And I'm like, yeah, that's, well, the
I
stuff
mean,
you eat
it's
is
pretty
like
bad.
roadkill, but it might be
But
unhealthy.
Warren Buffett, he's like 90
Okay,
something, and
he's
every morning,
79. He turned
okay,
79
almost.
this year. Almost 80.
But like in defense of McDonald's for breakfast every day, like Warren Buffett, he gets like a coffee, a hash brown, and like a McMuffin. And if he's on a bad day, he won't get the egg on it.
Ah.
So it's just a plain old sausage McMuffin. And the man is like 90 something.
Yeah, but like
So
he can afford to go to all of the like crazy Swiss islands that they replace your blood on.
yeah, I guess that could be true with Mr. Warren Buffett, who he just punishes himself every day because the man is a crazy old man who only knows how to hoard money. But anyways,
Yeah, billionaires are not your
McDonald's, please don't
friends.
sue us. That's right.
So he's got this it's like it's a vein deficiency that sucks. It makes it hard for pumping blood around your body,
Yeah.
which is important. Speaking of, I don't know that there's a lot of blood getting to that brain. Because, boy, he sure had a fun time at the World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah. So this is a really weird one. So in this case, back in like March, the World Cup kind of came like to like the White House, and he kind of just like kept it.
Yeah.
So they had to. So like FC Chelsea basically just now has to give like the people who actually played soccer like a replica trophy. This is this is comically hilarious and awful. So I don't know how to explain. I have really very few takes on this. It's a weird one. What are your thoughts on this one,
So I did a
Justin?
little bit of looking into this, and a lot of this information is like either spurious at best because it's like what Trump said to an announcer or whatever. It's like, oh, they came in March and like, this is the new trophy and you get to keep it. Like, you get to keep it in the White House. And then he's like, okay. And then, but apparently FIFA always does weird shit with the trophies. So they make a bronze replica and that goes to the team, but then the original stays in the like FIFA museum. But um apparently this trophy is a like a prototype, and so I guess nobody knows what the rules are. All I know is you see the two gentlemen leaning in to talk to Trump, who is full mouth trying to catch flies. They aren't smiling and celebrating. They're asking him to get off the fucking stage.
Yeah,
They said he was gonna hand the trophy off and then walk away. Nope, he's up there celebrating with the team.
and this is FC Chelsea. This is a British team. So
Yes.
what on earth is the president of the United States doing here?
Yeah, he was just
So
there hanging out.
I mean that's fair.
I
I
don't
want to hang
know.
out too.
So
This is weird.
this is a whole another weird thing of him just wanting to be the center of attention, dictator wannabe. Alrighty. So, Trump has passed his big beautiful bill. The big beautiful bill was passed by the House and the Senate, and then signed by Trump. And the House and the Senate passed a lot of other bills too. And so the rescission package is one that takes back $9 billion in funding that has basically already been given out. And one of the big one of the big organizations that would be hit by this is PBS and NPR, two news sources that are great in my opinion. And to see them having their funding get cut is gonna suck.
Yeah, and definitely this is I guess going back to how it affects children in education, right?
Right.
So like PBS is a way for like poor low income parents and stuff, a way to kind of help teach your child,
Yes.
right? This was originally started back in like the 60s by Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Correct.
So it's I grew up on PBS. A
Same.
lot of my friends grew up on PBS, and this is definitely a big blow.
Yes.
Uh, mhm. But it
It,
doesn't really affect. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's just really depressing because like I spent a lot of time with in my youth with Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street and stuff like that, and like I thought about it. I was like, man, if I had kids, I would have to like pirate all that stuff and put it on a server for my kids to watch.
Yeah, I mean, yes, a lot of parents these days, you can definitely just like stream things. You get a tablet, YouTube, and internet. But we have to remember some of us are not as fortunate and don't have
Exactly.
these things.
Exactly.
Um, so with PBS and such, like the good thing is like yes, the Sesame Street company, technically its own independent thing, getting funded by HBO. Yeah, that's great. And is
For
this a
how
big
long?
part of? Yeah, how
Yeah.
long?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Uh, and then NPR was definitely struck, National Public Radio. But yeah, that was also started back in like 1970. But part of the reason that they've been struck is they've been claimed that this is leftist propaganda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, which to me is a bit funny because part of the broadcasting, the National Broadcasting Act, kind of said that you have to make sure that this is not partisan.
Correct.
NPR is not very partisan.
No, it's
In fact, if
not.
you talk to, it is not. If you ask even listeners of, fervent listeners of NPR, they will all complain a lot that, NPR is not liberal enough. It keeps giving you a lot of, time to like the right wing
Yep.
media sometimes.
Yep.
So,
Honestly,
mm,
when I tried to get more into the news, I did my little ritual was I would put on their little like news minute thing on their app when they had that and listen to it while I took my shower in the morning. And I was just like, good lord, there's a lot of conservative news on this, and I stopped listening to it. So I don't
yeah,
know,
but
man.
that's go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know, man. They were probably helping you out more than you knew.
Because the leftists are complaining it's not left enough.
Yep, that was me.
Yep.
That was me.
Uh, so what we're gonna see, this is really gonna affect a lot of places that require heavy funding from the government, which are probably like local stations that are rural.
Yep.
Because the actual PBS, NPR themselves, a small portion of the budget, maybe like 5, 10%. That's still a lot of money,
Yeah.
but it's not like a majority of it
Yeah.
is this project. So
So one of the things, and I guess we technically get to fall into it by association, is independent journalists right now are more important than ever. You need to find news sources that you trust. I don't know. The Wall Street Journal seems pretty trustable these days, don't they? We'll go
it's yep.
again. Um, so if you didn't know, speaking of so NPR, PBS, getting all their funds cut, and people are not fighting it because that's the world we live in. We don't have enough politicians in the places they need to be to fight against it. And one of the other things that's happening right now is several big media companies are going through mergers, and so Paramount is getting sold, was sold. But
Yeah.
the government needs to transfer over all of the licenses and things like that to the new owners and things, and that's up to Donald Trump's FTC. And so he sued CBS for very spurious reasons that they had a rock solid case to fight against, and instead, just to make it go away, they settled for $16 million. Correct?
Yep, something like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a coward move because they had no case. I'm not a law expert or a lawyer, but I do read about it a lot. And their case was his case about it being libel or whatever he said it was being. It was horseshit. But instead, they're like, nah, we'll just give you the $16 million bribe so we can get what we want and continue making money. Well, what was it, Tuesday or Monday? Stephen Colbert, host of the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, called it a cowardly move by Paramount. And I agree. And he agreed, and everybody else agreed. Then Thursday of that very same week, he announced that he would be canceled in May. And not that he would be fired or replaced, but that the entire show was just going away. And Paramount said that it was for purely financial reasons.
Of course it is.
So, and that's the thing is it's probably not. And I can guarantee, and so we already this is going to be a common tactic from Trump. He already did it with 60 Minutes, I believe, and CBS and all that. And then he's got another, I think, $20 billion lawsuit against ABC. And now he's got a $20 billion lawsuit against... Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Where the hell is
The
it?
Wall Street Journal, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh.
against the Wall Street Journal. There it is. So the Wall Street Journal, which, if you didn't know, is a very conservative outlet. It's owned by Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News and all the other hyper conservative media outlets.
The good thing about it is, so right now I'm showing this is from Ad Fontes Media. So they actually have like a rating of like biases and reliability for different news sources.
Mm-hmm.
the Wall Street Journal is probably considered one of the most reliable ones around, right?
I
So in
agree.
this case, reliable, yeah. So in this case, the bias scores ranges from reliability goes from 0 to 64. This is about 43.
Yep.
That's still considered, generally pretty good. And
It's
then
a.
the bias, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a prestigious newspaper in the United States. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and then in this case, we have a bias of 4.7. So down here it says, oh, maybe it's gonna cut off here down here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep. So a scale of -42 to +42. So closer to 0. That's more fair and balanced or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not very biased at all. It is very right leaning because it is owned by
Rupert
Rupert
Murdoch.
Murdoch.
But yeah, it's a reputable journal.
Yeah, very reputable, and you can see here from the sample of content, they don't post that many things that fall under like super bias,
Correct.
right? So, yep, go ahead, continue with your.
And so what ended up happening is that the Wall Street Journal published a letter in that was supposedly given to Jeffrey Epstein by Donald Trump for his 50th birthday. And it was gross. And I don't know. They were talking about, we share a secret. Every year is a wonderful secret. And like, at first I was just like, these could just be like weird old rich dudes being weird old rich dudes. But then when you look at all the corroborative evidence of like, Donald Trump hosted a party for young women where he and Epstein were the only guests. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
and
sex
the Wall
criminal.
Street Journal, they're not prone to posting
They would
libel.
never do this unless they probably have the fucking letter. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. They either have the letter or, like, photos of Jeffrey Epstein, like, holding it, saying, like, Donald Trump sent me this. So, and it was the same thing with The Atlantic. I'm excited for tomorrow because they like to drop things on the weekend like this to get people talking about it. And then the Trump organization is like, it's fake news. Didn't happen. You have no evidence. And, like, with the
I don't even know how to draw. That was
yeah, and then they found and they're like, oh dude, he doodles on all of his golf cards.
yeah,
But then like with Signal Gate, they're like, that was it didn't happen, fake news. And then they're like, okay, here are the fucking screenshots. So I'm kind of waiting for Monday for that too, because Trump has already been like, I didn't draw that. That's not me. It's fake. Biden made it up. Like, oh, okay.
The party asks you to like even like discredit your eyes and ears,
Yeah.
So you only fealty exists. So this is definitely a big problem. The whole Epstein thing. It really is a thing that I guess we can all unite against, which is against the pedophiles.
Right.
So
yeah. I don't think any of like. Listen, I was in law enforcement for a decade, and I spent some time where my job was to work with sex offenders. So if there's anybody who like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and be like, they should all be put on an island and sunk. Like, no, I don't believe in that kind of shit. But like, listen, I think we want people held accountable for their crimes. And when rich and powerful people are literally in like human trafficking networks, we want it found out. Also, like, I was doing some looking into Epstein. Nobody knows how he has his fucking money. Like, nobody knows how he got rich. I didn't know that. And apparently that would be, I mean, you would think if Pam Bondi would put out those goddamn files, maybe there would be a hint about it being a human trafficking ring in there.
Yeah, I mean that would be pretty nice. We have to shed this thing to light because it's awful. This is awful things, and America demands it. So
so speaking of people getting tired of Trump being an actual criminal, a bunch of DOJ lawyers have quit in masse after being ordered to continually defend him. So
Yeah, it's
69 lawyers quit.
very nice.
Eh,
Um, yeah. So you know, because a lot of times when you are a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about how being a lawyer is, but you just got to do the job that's given to you a lot of times, whether you want to or not.
pretty much.
Um, yeah,
That's
but
most
you
jobs.
can't. There's a lot of jobs, but if you disagree and you just hate it, you know, you can't just. Yeah, I guess you can do a bad job. That's really bad, but you can also just resign, right?
Right.
Because that's part of your duty, I guess, as a lawyer. Otherwise, you might get disbarred or
Yeah,
whatever crap.
absolutely. If you
So,
do something illegal and the bar finds out about it, they'll be like, "No, dog." A bunch of
yeah.
lawyers who have worked for Trump have been disbarred already.
Yeah, yeah, like what's his name? Is Giuliani disbarred? I
Yep.
know Cheese Bro is disbarred.
Yep. Cheese bro. Yep.
Um Elena Hobb is not disbarred, but that's
Yet.
fine. She might be losing her job soon. But yeah, so in this case here, it is a high turnover, I guess. And at least three, you know, is just a lot of people quitting. Because that's my curious. It was, you know, it's like half of your lawyers are gone.
Yeah.
So like, how are you gonna do any legal stuff?
See, I mean, they really haven't been anyways. They just put whatever they want in the brief and like, nope, it's legal because I said so. And the Supreme Court's like, okay,
I mean,
that's the problem.
yeah,
Yeah, that's basically what's been happening. They're like, okay, yeah, whatever.
if there is no laws,
Yeah.
why do we need lawyers?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
guess
But that's pretty much how they're treating it. Like, they'll find some sycophants to like make legal-ish enough sounding things, and the Supreme Court will be like, no, you're okay, little guy.
let's see. At least four of these lawyers said that they quit over concerns that Trump's steps to gut federal agencies and block funding to institutions that's violating the Constitution. Oh, okay. So these lawyers are quitting. A lot of them are quitting because it's like, yeah, to supporting, breaking the Constitution. Yeah, that's kind of good. That's good.
Yeah,
So
that's good. I wish more ICE agents would quit for the same reason.
it's not a fun job apparently.
And
So
and frankly,
who-
who would want to defend Donald Trump? This story pisses me off because so when Donald Trump appointed Elon Musk head of Doge, one of the first things they cut was USAID, and we've talked about this quite a lot and about how many lives are going to be lost over the next 5 years. Is something like 14 million deaths that we were going to prevent will no longer be prevented. So that sucks. And now we are burning enough food to feed 1.5 million children for 1 week. They're just going to incinerate it. And so what this
yeah,
was high energy like food bars, like emergency food ration kind of stuff that the Biden administration bought for about $800,000. And the intention for them was to be sent to Pakistan and Afghanistan for the refugees of people from, Pakistan being sent back to Afghanistan. And so they spent the $800, 800,000 on it. And then basically there was already a network in place to get it transferred there, so it wasn't going to cost any more money to get it out there.
yep.
So
Just
Marco
sitting in
Rubio,
Dubai warehouse.
yep, it was just sitting in a warehouse in Dubai, ready to go. NATO and the World Food Program were ready to get the trucks. They already had the trucks and ready to go. Dubai loves a tax write-off. Anyways, Marco Rubio said at one point, no, we're going to get them out of here before they go bad and blah, blah, blah. We're not, that's our goal. Well, except now they're going to incinerate them. And it's going to cost 130,000 taxpayer dollars to incinerate them. Instead of feeding 105 million kids for a week, they're going to incinerate it. Fuck you if you're a brown, poor, war-torn child. That's what they think.
1.5 million, not 105. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, 1.5 million, yes.
It's still a lot of kids.
It's still a lot of kids. Hey, it doesn't matter. It could have been 105 million. They would have incinerated it all the same.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. So, and I'm surprised that I'm not seeing more, stink being raised about this.
Yeah.
you know, this is such a pointless pain,
Yeah.
and it's costing us more money. Like, why can't we just ship these out, to anybody who wants them?
This is
Why
the
do you have to burn
most
them?
like let them eat cake thing ever.
Well, nobody's eating cake. Apparently,
Yeah.
nobody's eating
Yeah,
anything.
that's the whole thing. Like nobody's eating anything. They
I mean,
have
at least
the
Marie Antoinette, she's like, let me, I was like, let me eat brioche, the good
yeah.
stuff. Give them the good stuff.
Yeah,
She still
right.
got hanged for it, but it's fine. It's
Well,
fine. But,
we might be getting
mm,
there too. Also, defending Trump. Let's see, where is this thing at? I had one more for that. The administration is shutting down a youth suicide hotline for the LGBTQ youth community. So the 988 national suicide number is like the suicide hotline and crisis number is going through an overhaul, which I've been looking as somebody who has struggled with mental health his entire life. Having resources out there like this is incredibly important, and they are just objectively making this service worse because they
yeah.
don't care. They just don't care. They just were like, oh fuck them. Like we could save money. So there is no longer an option for LGBTQ focused people. The one thing I did want to bring up here is the Trevor Project and other organizations still do have a toll-free number that you can call. I'm going to put it bigger on the screen here.
Yep.
And then I'll say it out loud in case you can't read it. But let me switch to
Yep.
that.
So so in this case, they're thanks to like places like the Trevor Project,
Mm-hmm.
right, and other organizations with support. So they still have a hotline available to help support LGBTQ individuals who are in crisis.
Correct.
Right. It's no longer part of the default. So it's a bit harder now for these individuals to receive the help they need. The help is
Correct.
still there. It's harder.
Yes, correct. And
And
that's what they want to make it for these marginalized people.
yep.
So the number
So
is 866 488 7386. That is the Trevor Project crisis support line, 24/7. Okay, that sucks. Let's talk about some news that is maybe a little funnier. Texas governor says his emails with Elon Musk are too intimate or embarrassing to release.
yes. Okay, I got to be honest with you. I didn't read much of this actual article. I just read the headline, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
this is what.
and I saw your line about it, and I was just like, oh man. And so they're always like, oh, state secrets, or it would give the information would give our competitors an edge, and it's like,
Yep.
well, what
Yep. No, Freedom of
competitors?
Information
NASA,
Act.
Blue Origin, like what are you talking about? And so this comes also like Elon Musk has also filed Neuralink as a disadvantaged company, which I think I'm gonna look into doing because me and my business partner both have autism. So if Elon can do it, I should be able to do it.
That's true.
I'm a genius too, like Elon. Oh God, self burn. Yeah, so that's more it is. Greg Abbott sucks. You can call him Hot Wheels anytime you want. That's what I have to say about Greg
Yeah.
Abbott. Also, Twitter guy sucks too. His
I mean, yeah, just our daily, just like Twitter guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to start the America Party. It
Oh my
probably also
God.
sucks.
Yeah, that's
Everything he touches sucks.
yeah.
Everything sucks.
Mark Cuban out there being like, "Oh, I'm interested in the America Party, and I think Zoran Mamdani's just dreaming." Like, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit what you think anymore, Mark. You stopped
Yeah.
being cute 10 years ago. All right. Then we've got Uno coming to Las Vegas casinos very
Oh
soon.
hell yeah.
So it got announced, and then DraftKings was like, yeah, it's real. But then official Uno was like, we're not quite ready for the casino floor yet, but we're working on it. So I don't like. I was watching a thing. I don't know how to. I don't know that I've ever actually played a game of Uno, which is apparently not that common. Apparently, everybody plays a shitload of Uno except for me.
What was the card game that you were growing up playing? Was like Old Maid?
I played
Go
a lot of
Fish?
like Old Maid and Go Fish. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Uno is a weird one because I mean this is a really curious article to me because
Hmm.
you know it is really finding that a lot of gambling, they're trying to really expand out the base because
Yeah.
there's only so many things you can do,
Right.
and Uno is definitely very popular, but nobody actually knows the rules to Uno because we just make up crap. Because the fun one is so like I'm kind of curious on this one. Like I don't know if it's going through many states. Like I'm curious if like your local like casinos in your state might also embrace Uno because it's a very casual game, but nobody freaking knows the correct rules.
That's true.
Um, because the big one is with Uno, the official. I mean, the rule is if you can't. This is the rule that I've always played with. Was if you don't have a matching card, a valid card in your hand, you have to keep drawing cards until you find one, and that is
Oh,
not the official rules.
sure,
You just draw a single card
sure.
on the official rules. Anyways, it's a weird one. I'm saying it's a weird one.
So
Uno's
technically, then in you could get variants. Then you could do a Deuces Wild Uno if you wanted to.
yes.
Nice.
In fact, there is a fun variant that me and my friends used to play. It's called like Anime Uno.
Oh,
So it's like they have like reverse cards, draw four, and you can stack draw fours. None of that is official. None of this actually works. This could be I don't know if this is gonna be a great idea or a terrible idea, but no, this is as bad as playing uh like Baccarat. Baccarat is
oh.
the easiest game in the world. Because you don't do anything.
I can't say
You
I've
just
ever
gotta.
played that either.
It's okay.
I
You don't.
sell them
You know
in my store, the little boards. But yeah,
the Baccarat tables like
the little travel ones.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's super simple. You don't have to do anything. The dealer does everything,
you
and the
just pick
dealer
a
has to tell the
number,
truth.
right?
It's better. You get to choose which hand is better. Is it a dealer's hand or
Ooh.
your hand?
Oh,
That's it.
nice,
And the
nice.
dealer has to tell the truth and tell you which is technically better.
uh, if you're a cop, you got to tell me.
Exactly.
Oh, that's pretty
So,
good. All right.
anyways.
Let's see. What else do we have here? I'm looking here. I like that one. Oh, these are all sad. These are all
You're trying to
sad.
have less sad ones.
Yeah. I saw that you had this Trump session with economist Justin Wolfers. What's with this one? Give me a rundown.
Yeah.
Or we can just
Okay,
play the
so this
video
one
if
here.
you want.
Yeah, we could just play the videos, but I'm gonna give you an early thing where this is so this is an economist. This is on the Lincoln Project, one of the Lincoln Project podcasts. Lincoln Project definitely is a solid resource. They're pretty anti-Trump. But this is a guy who kind of does like some mental math and kind of explains to us like how interest rates kind of a little bit work, and then how the different stuff. It could be a bit of a long clip because he's trying to explain a lot, so maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, I think, at least.
Sure.
Uh,
We can always talk over him too.
sure, go
Oh.
for it.
That basically every time you increase the debt to GDP ratio by 1 percentage point, you raise interest rates by about 1/50th of a percentage point. So if this bill is going to raise the level of debt to GDP over the next decade or so by 40 percentage by 40%, that would suggest interest rates are going to rise by 0.8 of a percent. 0.8 of a percent multiplied by a debt of around about 30 trillion.
Oh Lord, yeah.
I've done this math some other time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it turns out to be, let's say it's 1% instead, I'm just going to round up, is the equivalent of 300 billion extra in interest costs per year.
Yep.
Guess how much the tariffs bring in?
Well, right now, nothing.
If the Trump tariffs stick where they are, they're meant to bring in 300 billion a year. So the point is this deficit spending and the accumulation of national debt is going to raise our interest payments by enough to wipe out all of the revenue raised from the tariffs. So all the pain that your audience is feeling, we thought we were feeling that pain because it would help build roads. But actually, if we stay on the current trajectory, what it's going to do is help pay interest on a debt that has continued to grow. That's the point I'm trying to make. The magnitudes of that channel are actually very large.
Yeah, I think that look, I know there's a political component to the bill, a lot of agenda, Project 2025 stuff in the bill, but the spending and the deficits and the debt increases, there are fiscal hawks, some of whom are legitimate, some of whom are, posturing, and there are people who don't like the other provisions in the bill, but I think it's I think what you described is something that's economically in trouble, and I can describe it as something politically in trouble. And increasingly, as the public associates this bill with Medicare and Medicaid cuts, it has become politically much less palatable, harder to sell. By the way, we got to cut your grandmother's Medicaid or Medicare so that we can give Jeff Bezos a tax advantage.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to keep going on that, Tommy?
I guess we're good, Stan,
Okay.
but that's kind of like the basics, right?
Yeah. So this is something that we had kind of talked about, and this is just like a guy who is an expert in his field saying like, yeah, dude, look at the math. Like, look at the deficit, look at how much money we're hemorrhaging, and then all of this money that we have to pay towards tariffs on top of our regular taxes is just there to wipe out the mistakes they made.
I guess further on in the clip, I think it kind of breaks it down that I'm just going to summarize where like 80% of Americans are definitely going to feel like their money is worth less, right? It's going to be definitely a pain.
I already feel that way.
Yeah, the 10%, which I would say is maybe like some kind of upper middle class or whatnot, it's going to even out. There's going to be no difference in change. I'm just paraphrasing this guy. And the only people that, of course, benefit are, the ones above us,
Correct.
So this is definitely what you call a, this is a great wealth transfer of from us poors to the rich,
But
this
it's
entire
going to
bill.
trickle back down, right? Like it did before.
I wish.
Oh, right. That never happened.
But so, the issue is that, this is going to possibly lead to higher civil unrest. Right? Because the whole point is that if you have inequality that gets too high, right, where there's too many like rich, there's too many poor people compared to rich people or stuff, then you're going to have a lot of issues. Right. One of the ways that a strategy to help prevent some of these things is just to make the middle class bigger.
Yeah.
So that more people, which is not happening with these kind of. So, I don't want to say we're going to have another revolution, because I've said nothing, but this is, it's getting up there. It's going to get up there the more this happens.
Yep. Oh, I think we're going to have another revolution. I don't think it's going to look like a civil war, but might be some sort of work reform revolution. That'd be good.
We'll see. I mean, if you want to know the addresses of, some famous rich people, you can just Google them. I ain't telling you what to do, but
leaflet their house.
That's
graffiti their house.
If they're going to try to leave and they're going to escape to their little islands and yachts, it's fine. We know where you live.
I was going to say, if we can be on an island, you ain't going nowhere.
If we can track Elon Musk's private jet, we know where you are, rich people. You hear me?
Absolutely. Well, let's transition now. Thank you, everybody. I think that's all we have for news stories. Did you have anything else? Like actual politics news stuff? Oh, I did want to talk about a little bit, just briefly touch on, because it's still developing and it's tough to get good information. There was a protest in a Cincinnati suburb. I can't remember which one right now. But the cops showed up and made it way worse. Way worse. There's plenty of video out there. Obviously, everybody lawyered up, which was the smart thing to do in this scenario. So there's not a ton of information on what information is out there. But boy, this is what it's like living in a police state.
Yep. You know, they're just
Panicked,
arresting.
underpaid, underqualified, undertrained city cops, like trying to quell the rage at, like they're not trained or prepared to this. This is why when people talk about like, oh, we got to defund the cops. Like, we're not talking about no police. We're talking about this. The cops shouldn't be here to solve all of the fucking problems. That's not. No one force can do that.
See, so looks like they arrested like at least like 13 people, 2 journalists, I guess. I guess because they're blocking, I guess, like a 2-lane bridge over the Ohio River.
I don't think they
Because
were
of the
actually
protest?
blocking the bridge until the cops got there was the problem. Because, I mean, you can see during the arrest that fucking traffic is still just going by. So that's why I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wait till I get some more.
Yeah, we'll wait for this one. It's a bit rough. Yep.
Sorry, the spicy soda made me sneeze.
What's spicy soda? Sorry,
This is a liquid death. You cannot read it. It's literally black on black. I can barely read it.
Oh, liquid death?
Yep.
Or...
It is Deathberry Inferno flavored sparkling water. It is. I don't know what fruit a deathberry is, but it does have a vaguely fruitish flavor with a quite spicy cayenne afternote, and I quite like it a lot. I drank the whole can in an hour while I was here, so that's my review of Deathberry Inferno by Liquid Death. Get it at Walmart like my wife did, please.
I'll pick it up today.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm sure we'll get more as the news cycle continues to report on everything all of the time. But other than that, thank you for joining us here today. We are the team behind EasyVoteND.com, where we have some resources and things you can check out, more podcasts, some other videos. Sometimes we play some video games on our YouTube channel as well, if you want to see that. I might play some video games later. We'll see. I don't know. Tommy, are you up for video games, or you got stuff to do?
Probably not. Not today.
I might have stuff to do too. That's why I want to do it later. Also, I want to nap. I'm tired. But before we do that, I don't want to stop on a like, oh man, everything sucks. We're so fucked. Because no, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I do think it's going to get worse before it gets better even still. But we don't need to dwell on that. I do think it is going to get better at a certain point. But I am excited because we have a Magic the Gathering release coming up this week. We have a pre-release for Edge of Eternities. Now, if you're in the Bismarck-Mandan area, you can go to Parallax Games at 801 East Main in Bismarck. We will be having a pre-release event at 7 p.m. on Friday and at noon and 5 the following Saturday. That's this coming Friday, which is the 1st. Also my mom's birthday. I'll have to call her. And then the 2nd at noon and 5. And everything will be available, and if you have pre-orders, you can pick them all up.
Yep, I think the set just got released. I mean, you can check it on Scryfall. You can see all the new cards.
Yep.
Even if you're a Pauper fan, some of these cards
heat in there. Yeah. I love Pauper. I'm really excited for the land cycle, those station lands.
Yeah.
I call them my dirtle lands.
They are tap lands. They're weird tap lands, but if you can get these things rolling, they're so scary.
Yeah.
The spaceships. I said that I like the idea of the spacecrafts, the spaceships. Just tap things. There's like the world's slowest Convoke, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So
I like Convoke. All right, let's see here. There they are. Yep. Yeah, these are my dirtling lands. Like, oh, I don't want to attack. I don't want to totally tap out and attack. I need to keep these creatures for later. I'll just tap them and take up my station. My 5-color stations deck where I do nothing but dirtle and tick up my stations until I get board wiped.
Yes, I'm excited to pick up, of course, some shock lands.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, so definitely
can't
need some
have
of
enough
those.
shock lands.
Yep, there's Fixed Guy's Cradle there. Oh, it's Oh, it's so nasty. Oh, I hate it so much.
Yep. Guy's Cradle at Home.
Yep.
Also, we have a pretty cool Warhammer. I think they call it the Age of Darkness now. It's the Horus Heresy. It's $30K. It's the Saturnine box set, and I've been excited for the biggest pauldron shouldered guys ever. Here, let's see some Saturnine Terminators. And then there's also a Dreadnought. We might get to see the Dreadnought in some of these promotional shots. So these are the Terminators. And they got some big shoulders. Oops, we got to do it.
Oh my god.
Yep. Open a new window.
Oh, that's
I love them. They're so Warhammer.
it's incredible.
Yep. They're the most Warhammer. But hang on, it gets better.
No.
It gets better.
No.
Yep. There's a Dreadnought with even bigger shoulder pauldrons.
You know,
I love him.
This is beautiful. It's a great time.
Yep. That's all I got. Do any video games come out? I don't know. I've only been playing phone games.
Same. Me and my little gaming crew, I guess we've been doing a lot of we call horse game. Horse game racing has been the biggest.
Uma Musume.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby. It's it's taking over the storm. We have it's a great time. But other than that, I'm not playing any kind of games, any new games too much. So
yeah, Uma Musume has been a force to be reckoned with. I'm playing Fate. That's probably what I'm gonna play that later because
I'm surprised you can play. You have enough room in your time for more than one gacha game. So
I don't. My wife plays them all. I can't. I can only do one, maybe two. But I did play some of this. It seems super fun. Honestly, it seems like one of the better ones, and the company doesn't seem totally shitty. So good for them.
Yeah, it's it's very similar to an old old little like game in the 90s. There's also Japanese called like Princess Maker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you raise literally a little girl, and then you see how her life kind of unfolds and stuff because how you do things. It's the same kind of game style loop.
I played several of the Princess Maker games at the recommendation of a Canadian friend of mine.
They're good.
They are good. They are good.
But if you don't want to care about raising up a princess to then give off to find a nice prince, how about we race them instead?
Yeah.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect. Well, I think that's going to be our show for the week. Again, hopefully Al will be here with us next week. He is sadly passed away temporarily, but he will be back at some point. Tommy, thank you for being here and doing all the preparation as usual. Thank you for helping me save so much time and everything. And thank you for being here. If you have watched, listened, or whatever, you can find us at easyvoteindy.com. You can also find us on YouTube at EasyVote North Dakota or EasyVoteND. It goes anywhere. If you search it, you'll find it. We're a little harder to find on Spotify just because it's hard to get through their algorithm. But we are on Spotify, and you can find those links on our Blue Sky, where we're at easyvotend.bsky.social. And then I try to say at least one unhinged thing a day on there. But you can also find all of our other stuff there. And also you can find it all at easyvotend.com. Thanks for being here. Tommy, thank you for being here. Have a good day, everybody.
thanks for watching, y'all.